have a friend who told me that his wife has two contradictory problems. On the one hand, she complains she has nothing to wear. On the other hand, she has no room in the closet. Now, this joke is true, and it gives us some hope because it teaches us that we need that balance between new things and throwing away old ones. Why do we buy clothes if we have enough in the closet? To upgrade ourselves, to make a change in our wardrobe, to feel better about ourselves. Change. How we aspire to it and how afraid we are of this word. So let's talk about change for just a second, because few people love change. We are afraid of change, even though it makes no sense to be afraid of something that happens all the time, every day of our lives, right? Biologically, we are used to change. We change from childhood to adulthood. We change our opinions, our jobs, our studies, travel to new places abroad, sign up for new classes, challenge our mind with new things. And yet, although we live changes on a daily basis, we are still afraid of change. Why? Well, according to studies in behavioral psychology, it is not the change we are afraid of, it's the loss. We are afraid that the change will bring more loss than gain, that our new job will be worse than our current job despite its disadvantages, that another spouse will be less good than the boring and different one I currently have, but at least I'm used to his snoring. So let's not say change, let's say upgrade, because this is what happens in most changes. Our objective, therefore, is to let go of something old and upgrade to something newer and better. If this old thing serves you, then there is no problem, okay? Maintain the pleasant and the good. As German philosopher Hegel said, there is no need to fix what is not broken. But there is no sense in holding on to something broken that does not serve us, simply out of habit. I will give you an example from marriage. One day I encountered a provocative idea that love guru Osho wrote. Osho was a controversial yet thinking person. And by the way, I highly recommend that you also read Unpopular Ideas, open your mind, and decide for yourselves whether you agree with them or not. So if you have not heard about Osho, he was an Indian guru who preached about free love and sex and claimed that marriage is the ugliest institution invented by man. Yep, he said it in these words, the ugliest institution invented by man. Why ugly? Well, according to his belief, the marriage institution is chaining free love to an intimidating ownership contract. Because why do you need a marriage contract? Think about it. For one reason only, fear and sanction to prevent our spouse from leaving us for greener pastures. As if marriage ever prevented that. Most of us want to celebrate our love with a nice ceremony, and of course this is definitely a cause for celebration. But if we look at it at its face value, a marriage ceremony is also a display of ownership. You see this handsome guy? You see that beauty in the white dress? She's mine. Only mine. Forget about her. And that's why couples sign a contract and undertake in writing or in a ceremony that they will behave really, really nice and stay together forever, for better and for worse. 50% of couples around the world divorce, and they already know. Our spouses and people in general were never under our ownership and will not be under our ownership in the future. Today, many replace the concept husband with the better suited term my spouse or my partner. And by the way, the word husband is derived from the German word Husbonda, which means owner of the house. So, if we are suffering in a romantic relationship, why does this have to last forever? In summary, Osho believes that people need to remarry every day, to check their love every day, and if it works out, and love becomes a positive routine that feels right, you need to appreciate every minute of it. And if there are problems, you need to work on them. And if you can't fix the problems, let go. So instead of focusing on losses, it's better to focus on what we can gain from letting go. But there is another problem. Most of us don't know what we want. And since we don't know, we are afraid of uncertainty, of a lack of options. We don't always know how to phrase our exact needs and don't know what options exist. So at least when it comes to humans, let me clarify what we do want. And for this purpose, I will quote something that my mother said in one terrible year when I lost my father and best friend, whose deaths were only several months apart. My mother noticed my sadness and grief, took my hand and said, "Listen, son, you lost people you love, and you may not want to hear this now, but you are going to lose more people in the future. And you need to live with those you have, not with those who are gone." And this is maybe the best reason to let go of the past. Because this is what we want. To take advantage of our time with our loved ones who are still here and will disappear someday from our lives, so that in the future we don't regret not doing it. So, how do we let go?